Welcome to Porch Reflections. So as you can see, I'm filming tonight rather than during the day. I just thought it would be nice to have a different perspective. And what's really interesting is quite noisy in my neighborhood in the evenings, which I didn't expect. So if you hear a bunch of car noise, people coming and going, it's sort of just the way it is. But tonight's reflection comes off of a discussion with a couple of students and a couple of really interesting work that is starting to show up for a few of my clients, that they're starting to discover this place of homeostasis, or this place of balance, or often what I use in the physical body is congruency. All of a sudden, how the body is moving and coordinating itself is starting to take on more coordination. And it's hard for them to describe, but I know what it is. I know what it is when the body, the mind, the energy of the body are all starting to speak to each other and have a bit of, I don't know, I call it unity, or I just use the word congruent. There's a congruency, there's a communication, there's a balance coming in. So I was starting to think about a little bit of the 6 weeks and the conversation that we've been having. And I thought it was just really worth going back to revisit. But one of the things that when we open up the yoga, Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, one of the things it says is, and now yoga, right? And it's a funny little phrase. And I think it's because we have to get some place first of discouragement, that we start to realize that actually life outside of ourselves doesn't give us all that we need. And some people find that as an early age, some of us find it in mid-age, some of us find it later on in our lives. It's irrelevant. Time's irrelevant. It's that discovery that there is little to rely on, that buying a new something or achieving a such and such will give us everlasting joy. Right? That joy comes with alignment, and it comes with that congruency or that harmony. And what I'm going to remind us of is that in yoga we have 3 things that start us off. There's 5 sheaths, but the first 3 are the 3 that we work with in the beginning. Anandamaya Kosha, the physical body, it's actually the food body, right? So all the food we eat creates the health and well-being in our physical body. Then we also have the Manomaya Kosha, the mind, right? So that we have this mind, we have thinking, we have consciousness, we have the thought process, we have all that there. There's some other layers to it, but for right now, just think of your mind. Then there's Pranamaya Kosha, and that is the energy body, and things that flow and move through us like energy, right? And so the Pranamaya Kosha is a little less seen, but we also know that we can feel it, and we also know that we can close our eyes, put our hands out in front of us, and feel energy, right? We can feel energy. Many of us can sense energy of other people around us, or the energy in our room. And we also have an understanding of our own energy levels. So if we just look at our own energy levels, we can have high vitality, and or we can have low, sort of feel depleted. And one of the things that we know, and I'm just going to point to a few things, we know that when we're happy, let's say we just got incredibly good news, things that make us happy in our mind, all of a sudden our energy level goes up. We can hear something that might feel disturbing to our mind, and our energy level goes down, right? So we can be very affected by what we're hearing and experiencing and how our mind perceives, and our energy levels can fluctuate. What yoga provides for us is really an opportunity for us to look at it as more of a science, a little bit more like a recipe, and seeing it as these 3 components. The most gross, or the one that's more matter, is the physical body, then coming into the mind, right, because we can't, it's a little bit more elusive, and then the energy body. It's the energy body that we can work with, and if we really work with our energy body and choose to sustain ourselves in a place of high energy, high vitality, where we are, and I might use the word guarding ourselves, protecting ourselves, monitoring ourselves, watching ourselves. Largely it's just awareness. We're becoming aware of what things want to pull us and fluctuate us, right? Chitta vritta nirodha, right? The quietening of the roaming tendencies of the mind is the yoga practice, right? Is that practice of quietening that. So there's an awareness practice where we can calm ourselves, and then we choose to find the perfect recipe for ourselves with our physical body, our mental body, and our energy body, where there's a high sustained energy of vitality. So I'm going to leave it there for you. Go back and revisit your current recipe. Just see what you're doing in your daily schedule. See what food you're eating, the sleep that you're getting, the volume of time that you're outdoors versus indoor, the external influences versus the internal reflection time that you have. And just see where you are. And it's worth taking a look at this time to see where we are, because really where I'll be heading for the next couple of sessions together is really just visiting how do we as yogis provide ourselves with the opportunity that's available to us, right? That opportunity of that loving kindness while being responsive to the world and really finding ourselves into this place of everlasting joy, or sometimes known as the sorrowless joy, the joy that doesn't diminish with the external environments. All right, so enough for tonight. Enjoy your evening cup of tea, and we will see you back here on the porch.